Good afternoon, Wrestling Inc. Get up, get going. Welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily. It's me, your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, joined here as I am every Tuesday to get tickled, to talk the top news from the world of professional wrestling. It's our very good friend from Second City, Chicago, EJ Cameron. EJ, welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
What up, what up, what up? Good to be back. Nick, how you living?
I'm doing good. I'm like our good buddy Jay Flame here in the comment section. Yerp, what up, everyone?
Yep.
Not enough people have jumped on the Yerp bandwagon in the comment section yet.
Do you remember when I was trying to make that a thing on the podcast like a year ago?
Yeah, Jay Flame remembers.
Always remember.
The Petridge Farm of the Wrestling Inc. Daily. So, like I said, the comment section's open. It's me and EJ here. We're going to talk wrestling. John here from West Texas saying happy Tuesday. Tuesday in Texas. Great pay-per-view. Go check it out. Jason Pock, happy Tuesday, Nick and EJ. Thank you, guys. Yeah, jump in.
Happy Tuesday.
Let's have a party here. Let's have a happy Tuesday. You guys talk. We'll talk. We'll talk together. We'll make our talks touch. It's going to be beautiful. And then, of course, we're going to talk the news of the day here in just a moment. And at the end of the show for everybody, we'll dive into the mailbag. We're going to look at what you guys think of the top Royal Rumble matches that have been announced so far. But you know what? Let's get to it here. News you can use. News that'll leave a bruise. Hulk Hogan. He trended Monday night into today after a recent Facebook comment he made surfaced all over social media, responding to someone implying that comedian Bob Saget had died due to the COVID-19 vaccines. Hogan agreed with the poster and suggested other celebrities may have suffered the same fate. He wrote on Facebook, 100% Betty and Sydney were also jabbed, a reference to Betty White and Sidney Poitier. They're dropping like flies, but they'll never say that. Now, he later edited the Facebook post, although the comment could still be seen by clicking the edited link next to the comment, and then eventually the guy, he deletes the comment altogether. So, EJ, what's your reaction to Hulk Hogan's latest step on a rake here?
Man, where do I start? First of all, the fact that he's still using Facebook. Okay, Hulk Hogan, do your thing. Of course he's against the vaccine. He's a super freak that just prayed and ate his vitamins. Hulk Hogan never used a needle for anything, ever. He's never had to, brother, with those pythons.
Why would you ever inject a substance into your body that you don't thoroughly trust, DJ?
That's such a wild statement. First of all, Betty White and Sidney Poitier were 90. 90 and 99, respectfully. Like, everyone was like, oh, it's sad, but no one was like, oh, gone too soon. What? And then to say 100%, I'm sure they got the jab. I'm sure they got the first one a year ago. What are you saying?
Yeah, and it's a shame. The phone should be wrangled from Hulk. There's too, I'm just kind of over it, right? Like, you're right. Facebook's the platform where this kind of stuff. Who's using Facebook? I don't use Facebook, right? I'm just over the social media stuff. Everybody's just saying stupid stuff and they get in trouble all the time. Just stop. You don't need to do this. Why do you do this, right?
Yeah. All of your stupid things should be said in the privacy at a bar with your close friends. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't go online and just say, you're Hulk Hogan. Why are you jumping and saying 100%? God.
Yeah. Antonio Garcia here, agreeing Betty and Sydney over 90, right?
Yeah.
So we also have Shake My Head here. That comes from MCASP. Daniel Price. Hogan says, let me tell you something, brother. The 24-inch pythons are digging the Hulkster deeper, and the shovel looks like a vaccination needle. Just a really bad time. And, like, I've heard that Hulk likes to drink beer, right? A lot of beer, sit on the beach, right? That's kind of his whole thing. Maybe not the time to be putting your thoughts out into social media if you had a couple cocktails on the beach, right?
No, yeah. Maybe.
And you know what was so interesting about this all to me is I woke up today, and like I assigned posts throughout the week, and I looked this morning, all right, what got written up, what's available to me to kind of start the day. Jimmy Hart had a health update about Hulk Hogan. Nothing incendiary, just like Jimmy Hart hung out with Hulk. Here's how he thinks Hulk's doing. That article, that posted very, very well, still doing very, very well. But then this post comes along, and the whole goodwill about Hulk Hogan's health, the conversation about that post as the Wrestling Inc. turns. That was a real thing. That was an interesting one for me to watch here today as the numbers rolled in.
He's like, what is it, The Godfather? It's like every time I try to leave, they pull me right back in.
Yeah. So
Goodness.
So that's kind of what happened with Hulk. To put a button on it, does anything happen? EJ, do you think anything happens because of this?
No, what's gonna happen? The people that believe that and fall in line with that are gonna, double up under him, and he can double down on it too. Like, what he's not gonna be at WrestleMania?
No, exactly. Like, I don't think that this does it. I mean, we all know the scandal that Hulk Hogan weathered, right? And he made his way back to WrestleMania. I don't know that this is that if we're comparing huge blows, this is not, I don't think, to the level of what we got last time around with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, no, not so much. And they're like, put him up with dermatitis. Ta-da! Jeez.
It's fixed. So problem solved. Hey, and maybe they'll put him out there with Roman, right? Like the biggest pro-vaccine guy in the company. Maybe he'll be out there cutting promos with Roman Reigns here to kind of get over this one.
Goodness. They'll just be doing COVID bits with each other. I can't wait.
So I don't want to talk about Hulk Hogan anymore. Let's talk about Raw. I had to get that all out of the way, though, because it's doing so much traffic on the site. WWE Raw was last night. Couple cool things coming out of Monday Night Raw. First of all, Alpha Academy, they defeated RK Bro, top of the show, to become the Raw Tag Team Champions. What did you think of the win, and why do you think this happened, EJ?
I loved it. I wish it was at a pay-per-view. I wish it got a bigger, a more of a showcase spot, because I think this is a bigger deal than what it is, how it was presented. I found out today on Instagram that Chad Gable and Otis are best friends that trained for the Olympics together 10 years ago.
I knew. Yeah, they have a lot of history together, and they don't play into that enough on TV. It would surprise people.
It's right there. They're neighbors.
I know.
They work out together all the time. They're kissing each other on the cheek, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Seeing that elevated it to a different place, and I was like, why are they not talking about that?
Yeah.
With that being said, I love them. Great match. I think it's being done. They're probably gonna. You have the Rumble. You have Riddle and Orton. Loosen them up a little bit. Let them eliminate each other in the Rumble and have a Mania blow-off match sort of deal.
Does Randy Orton? Do his odds go up? I think they go up precipitously because of this for the Rumble. Hey, there's one of the $1 million dropped out of college words. So I think his odds go up precipitously because now that he's out of the tag team picture, right? I think that you're looking for that right person that could step into that main event. A lot of goodwill for Big E, but like at the same time, he's coming off of a kind of a rough run. People love Randy Orton, right? And at any moment you could break the glass and go to Orton, and I think it works, at least especially these days.
Yeah, Orton's like, that person you hook up with, you could always call. Like, he's just always reliable. He can be a champion whenever, and it makes sense, especially now he's super popular. Everybody loves him. I just foresee Riddle eliminating him, and we finally see the snap that we've all been waiting for. Like, he's gonna turn on him at some point.
So Randy Orton then just murders Riddle after Riddle eliminates him for the Royal Rumble, setting up like some kind of matches, I guess 1, 2, maybe the pay-per-view in between, another one at the WrestleMania.
Yeah, and then they like have a beautiful match that'll steal the show at WrestleMania or something.
Maybe. I don't know. I think that's a damn good story idea. I mean, it's definitely possible these guys eliminate each other. I just see this situation, and Randy Orton is just so obviously way more over than so many other people in WWE, and it's really great that he's gone out there and elevated Riddle, and I think a lot of people have really enjoyed the RK Bro ride, but it's Randy Orton. He's in his prime. How many more years of Randy Orton in his prime are we really going to get? This, to me, opens up the lane where, and look, Imcast bringing up how Orton took the pin. Whoa, RK Bro winning titles back at Royal Rumble. You see him splitting up. Yeah, Orton was the one to take that pin, and that's what they do on the Rumble, right? They're like, The road to the Rumble, they're losing. And then they get the big one, and they got to get their mojo back in order to pick up the big one at WrestleMania, you know?
You said Mojo Rawley? I kid. Well, here's my issue with that. The whole match was set up around tag me in. He writes it on Riddle's hands, tag me in. He gets tagged in, and he takes the pin. And I think you pitched this idea of like Riddle being the one to do the turn.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. And maybe that's the match that they do on the road to WrestleMania. Orton's got to get through Riddle, something like that. And look, Leo Pereira saying, don't forget the Rumble's in St. Louis. That's Randy Orton's hometown.
True.
Right?
True. Yeah. Yeah. That right there, that little fact just tipped it over for me. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I see it.
So, I mean, that, and, you know, that's, I also watched Omos squash AJ Styles and was like, maybe that guy will win the Rumble. Why else would they do that? You know? So I got a lot of things in my head this year going into the Rumble.
Yeah, I have like a wild, like, red line of like what I think's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. I somehow think we'll get Seth and Big E for the title.
Okay.
That's my crisscross thing that could happen.
All right. Well, we'll get back to that. That's actually something that's going to come up in the mailbag. We're talking about the Rumble. We'll talk a little bit about Mania plans as well. Nikki Ash, she turned on Rhea Ripley after Rhea Ripley said they shouldn't tag anymore. This got a lot of attention. I'll say that overnight over at Wrestling Inc. What did you think of the turn here from Nikki on Rhea?
It was unexpected. Everybody expected Rhea to do the turn. I expected it. It just seemed like that's what it would be. And then you have Nikki being the underdog again. Sure. Seeing this happen excites me because now I'm like, well, what is Nikki Ash? A heel Nikki Ash who's almost a superhero, but now she's kind of like conflicted or like delusional of how she sees herself as the hero still is a complex and interesting character that I think could work.
So, like, here's the thing that's weird to me is on the same episode we saw Nikki Ash turn heel, and we're going to, I guess, see her be like a supervillain. We also see Alexa Bliss's kind of descent into supervillaindom as our further descent, I guess. She's been a supervillain for a while, right? Mm-hmm. But I think we called it last week, EJ, on the show. We were like, Alexa's going to come back. She's going to meet with some therapist. It's going to go horribly wrong, and they're going to try to fix her. And that's it. I mean, almost exactly what we got on the show last night.
Buddy, I wish you could have seen me roll my eyes when it started. I said, should have bet on it.
We were just missing Dr. Shelby. It was about as predictable as you could get. And
give it time.
Dude, that thing died a death. That thing was, it was just uncomfortable. It was stilted. It was weird. And it did not get well received by the fans. I've not seen a lot of people lighting up about what we got from Alexa Bliss last night.
No, it didn't. We don't need it. I understand we need it for a character perspective, but it's been done so many times, it's lazy at a point that I wish they came up with something else.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, how do they fix the crazy wrestling character? It's always this. They go to therapy, they try it, it doesn't work, but they just got right to it this time. And, you know, Malachi Black just did some really great House of Black vignettes not long ago, you know, explaining the eye thing, and it was done in a really gritty style. I don't really know that they had a style here. Like, it didn't really fit any kind of particular genre. Maybe they were going for like Stranger Things. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, they were going for a supernatural thing, but it still felt like Dr. Shelby world in like the brightness. To the point that I almost wish that she was backstage. You build up Alexa Bliss is returning and she's backstage walking and a ladder falls and hits her on the head. And now she's not demented Alexa Bliss anymore. You know it lives there, but it's not her anymore. I would take that and be good with it.
So, but you got her as like a super villain, and now you got Nikki Ash kind of turning at the same time. These two always kind of felt like they were destined for each other. It's really weird to me to see them kind of both, I don't know, like doing, I don't know where this guy, I don't know.
They're best friends in real life, right? They did the whole coffee bit for a while.
I know there's a lot going on there with those two. So
it's history.
And well, also talk about the women in WWE. Doudrop won a triple threat in the main event to become the #1 contender to Becky Lynch's Raw Women's title. The match is going to go down at the Royal Rumble. I feel like the Becky Lynch heel turn or the heel run finally got going because of Liv. it's weird to me they're throwing her in with another heel again, like she had with Charlotte. I don't know. I just don't know how the fans are gonna like. Are they gonna begin the babyface process at Becky Lynch again? I don't know. It's a very weird pick for me.
I'm excited because I haven't seen this matchup, but who are you supposed to root for? And I feel like everyone's going to root for Becky because it's Becky, and that's going to. I mean, I don't know. Doudrop's main eventing or going for the championship at the Royal Rumble, so that's big for Doudrop.
Right.
But I couldn't help but to feel with Becky running in on Bianca that's setting up for Bianca Becky.
Oh, yeah. I don't exactly like I don't know what they're doing here because if you're trying to get to Bianca Becky, I think you'd want to keep Becky as a heel. And I feel like they're gonna baby here against Doudrop. And so like I don't know how you get back there or what kind of story they're trying to tell right now. And maybe it's just more of a observation about the lack of depth of top like babyface women over on Monday Night Raw at the moment. You know, that they don't have anybody else really to kind of go to right now.
So is Doudrop a face?
No, she's going to be a heel. There's no way that they flip Doudrop to babyface here. I mean, she hasn't been heel that long. EJ, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. All right. Well, lastly here, Damian Priest, he's declared himself for the Royal Rumble. Latest name, bunch of names. Big E's in the Rumble now, too. Any front runners for you over on the men's side of the Rumble right now, EJ?
I'm still putting my chips on Big E.
Yeah.
Big E is where I'm going to go with that. You know what I wish that they brought back? Do you remember when they would do like you pull a number and you get your entrance number?
Yes.
That was a fun gimmick.
The little bingo ball roller thing?
Yeah, you had Eddie Guerrero. I was going to say Eddie Murphy. Jeez. Eddie Guerrero and Ric Flair doing their like stealing and switching numbers. But yeah, I'm going with Big E. Who you got?
I think Orton after our discussion up top. I think I'm kind of sold now on Orton. I think there's a lane there. I think the St. Louis stuff is too good. I see Antonio Garcia here saying Johnny Knoxville, right? Which, you know, I don't rule out this time around. The man declared first. He's got the most consistent push. He's in there. They saw the success with Bad Bunny. How much further can we take this thing? We can literally do whatever we want to this guy. He's the jackass guy, whatever. We can kick him, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't rule out a Johnny Knoxville Royal Rumble win.
I just feel like, I hope not, but I can see them doing it. But Johnny Knoxville, this feels like it's 20 years off. Like it's too late. Like if it was like another time in day, him being like the hardcore champion back in the day, that would make so much sense. Man. But right now, I don't know. It still takes me back to when, do you remember when those guys went up against Umaga and he had to really just lay it in on them?
Yeah, it was Steve-O and then the other one, Ryan something, I think.
Yeah.
They got tossed.
Love that match, man. He kicked the crap out of him. But yeah, I hope not. I would like to think it would set up like a fun Hollywood match. Give us Johnny Knoxville, Miz or something, or Sami Zayn. You know, some sort of something there. I
mean, Sami Zayn is already kind of beefing with Johnny Knoxville. I could maybe see that being the thing that comes out of this. Why not? But hey, I'm just saying, don't rule it out. And if it happens, just breathe. Just let it flow over you, you know, like cool waves, you know. It's fine.
God.
You will be okay. All right.
I don't know.
Ellen DeGeneres, a woman I don't know that we've ever talked about on the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
I don't think so.
I don't think she's ever come up. Ellen DeGeneres, she talked to John Cena, and she asked him the question that a good pro wrestling journalist should ask, which I guess she is now. What's his status for WrestleMania, right? What's his WWE future? Says he doesn't think he's going to be able to be at Mania this year, but he did not say he was done with WWE. So he's got more to do. He's going to be coming back to do more with WWE later on. Is that an update? I don't know.
That makes sense. So he's doing Peacemaker now, right? He has a whole series coming out.
Yeah.
You know, I still give him crap. I'm like, dude, you talked all that mess about The Rock, and now look at you.
Yeah, he's really busy. You know, we're just lucky to get him when we can, you know?
Yeah.
PWInsider.com saying moving forward, the NXT creative team is not going to operate independently as it has done in the past. Previously, Paul Levesque, Triple H, oversaw things with his own team, which is why they were separate from everything else in WWE. Instead, the team is now going to work under Bruce Pritchard and Christine Lubrano. Decisions will be reported to them, with WWE looking to streamline the operation to be consistent with how the Raw and SmackDown creative departments work. I have a couple thoughts on this one for real, but is there anything that comes to mind here when you hear this story, EJ?
I mean, it doesn't excite me because one of the great things about NXT was that it was different from the rest, from Raw and SmackDown. And I feel like we're going to get Raw and SmackDown light instead of NXT being what it was. That's my gut. I think there's going to be more crossovers. They're already doing it now with AJ Styles. Other people going to NXT and wrestling and doing business. So I think that's going to be the golden door, if you will. What do you think?
I wish there was like a middle ground here. I wish there was some blending between these two things right here, because I think it would have done a lot for the Black and Gold brand to be able to do this kinds of stuff, right? Where a Tommaso Ciampa pops up and beefs, with an AJ Styles for a couple months, or AJ is compelled to come down to NXT to Ciampa's turf, right? And then they go back to their separate brands, and NXT kind of exists, but there's like these occasional main roster stars that are floating over. We saw a little bit of it, like Kevin Owens would kind of go back to NXT, and like that was a thing. But for these three brands to be working together, you're going to see more of this stuff now, because now NXT's on their mind. How do we work this into what we're doing with creative? So you're going to see more fun crossover stuff. I think the Black and Gold brand would have really benefited if this had been the attitude. I'm not saying that their creative needed to be like exactly like Raw and SmackDown, but if the communication had been better to do this kind of rub, I think it would have been a lot better for that brand, DJ.
Oh, yeah, because the only time they really did it was when they were stuck on the tarmac in Saudi Arabia. So they had people show up really quick, got everybody excited, and then we never really talked about it again.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, like led into Survivor Series or something when they made Walter, they no-sold his chops. And I said, I can't.
I am beyond over this right now. So, all right. Well, and lastly, here's some good news. I know this got brought up earlier in the chat room. So, everybody's favorite Danhausen, love that Danhausen. He submitted a job application to A&W, which is the fast food franchise inspired by the A&W root beer soda. And he went and he filled out this A&W job application, and he drew a picture of himself, and he listed Tony Khan, the boss man with the money, right? CM Punk, good friend. He had references. He had different skills, making money, give him all the money. Danhausen. Turns out A&W got wind of Danhausen's application after he shared it on social media, and A&W has accepted it, and they have said, you're hired. If it doesn't work out in pro wrestling, Danhausen will have a future making root beer floats and making cheese dogs at the A&W fast food restaurant, which is just good news for everybody, EJ.
I haven't seen an A&W in so long. So much so when I was reading the email, I thought it said AEW. I was like, oh, good. And I just looked at it and I was like, wait, what? Yeah, that's crazy. How many of those still exist? So like 5 in the country?
No, they're more common. And the thing is, because I think that they're owned by the junk food company. What do they call it? But they own like Taco Bell. They own Long John Silver's, A&W, Pizza Hut. They're called Yums. So you'll find like an A&W Long John Silver's combo at like a truck stop, right? Because that's what you want. You
want that Big Daddy burger.
You get an A&W and a Pizza Hut, which is a much better combo. Not knocking Long John Silver's, but pizza root beer goes better for me.
I hate root beer. Sorry. I know.
Well, that'll bring us to the mailbag. Thank you, EJ, for joining me at the top of the show. We got a little more to go here. Stick around. We're gonna have a discussion here in the mailbag. Thank you, Ray, for everybody. Jump in the comment section. No interview today, but we will be back with a big interview tomorrow. So stick around to the end of the show. I'll announce who that is. So today's poll question is about the Rumble. Which match you most excited about at the Rumble? Now, I will note, and EJ alluded to this earlier, the Observer reporting that the original plan for WrestleMania 38 was for Seth Rollins to face Big E for the WWE title. And Meltzer mentioned that he was not told if that planned match was going to be the main event or not. But that was, I guess, the original direction before the 5-day freakout over Roman Reigns having COVID-19.
But then that makes me wonder what was the original main event on the other side. Because if day one was Lesnar Reigns, were they going to run it back again for Mania? Or Rumble?
So. Mm-hmm. Or okay. I think, or what? See, I don't really know. And like Meltzer says a lot of things. Yeah. He also said that like the plans haven't changed for WrestleMania, but I have to imagine you were going to try to end up with Lesnar Reigns again at Mania. They had the day one match. Somebody takes the belt. Somebody could go into the Rumble, win the Rumble, come back. Whatever. There's ways to get there. Now we've got a whole different landscape going on. Those two guys both have independent title matches. You also have the men's Rumble match thrown in the picture. This thing could go a lot of different ways right now. If they still want to get to Big E, Seth Rollins, that's fine. But we just saw it on Monday Night Raw last night as well. I was surprised to see that if that was going to be a possible WrestleMania main event.
Yeah, maybe that was them being like, ta-da, you're not getting it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe they threw all the plans out. But right now, the match that you are all most excited to see, we got about 250 votes here in the last hour. 36.7 Lesnar Lashley, 34.6 the men's Rumble, 16.9 the women's Rumble, and only 11.8% for Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Anything surprise you here in these poll results?
No. Honestly, Reigns and Rollins, they're going to tear it up, but it's so new. It was thrown together just now, so we're still like, okay, there's a history. What is this? I'm all in on Lesnar and Lashley, so I'm not surprised it's winning. That makes sense.
Dude, how good was that promo battle to open the show last night? I really liked it.
Me too. And I was so surprised because MVP and Paul Heyman barely spoke.
But they added so much to that visual, didn't they?
Yeah. God, just watching them in the ring together, you have like this rugged mountain man and like this big business suit beef guy. I was like, man, this is awesome.
I love he called him out for ducking him for 20 years because Bobby Lashley has been saying that in interviews forever. And for him to finally get to say it to Brock's face, chef's kiss. I was waiting for it.
But then Brock hitting him with your Lesnar light, I was like, ooh. And I've been going around collecting championships. You should have been where I've been.
Yeah, well, nice to say when you're the gatekeeper, right? You're just holding the key right out of somebody's reach, But I like the knock-knock joke, right? Bobby who?
Got me good.
Oh, great. Loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Only thing I don't like about this is, once again, for no reason at all, the Hurt Business is just not associated with Bobby Lashley. And I really thought it was going to be a swerve. I thought they were going to, help him. And no, he murdered those men. And it is decidedly over once again.
God, that hurt me. Yet again. The whole time I was like, okay, this is a swerve. We know Shelton and Lesnar have history together, so that makes sense that, he'd be involved. Nope. They just killed him again. Why? Why they hurt me, Nick? Why do they do that?
Well, that's their business. They're in the Hurt Business.
Goodbye.
And we've lost EJ. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the show for today. I want to thank everybody for joining us here today. I like Daniel here chiming in, maybe saying Cedric and Shelton could cost Lashley the match. Lesnar faces Reigns to unify at Mania. Maybe that's why they're throwing that out there right now. Maybe set up a Hurt Business triple threat at WrestleMania.
Huh.
Oh,
but I wouldn't want to watch that. That's not going to be a good triple threat. Lashley's going to eat him. He's been eating them alive now.
It's true. Why would anybody interested in that? That's true. Supersonic, Shelton and Cedric are all elite. Hey, you know what? Anything can happen in pro wrestling. The revolving door is certainly going on right now. All right, everybody. That's going to wrap us up here for today. So tomorrow, if you come back, I'm going to be joined by Brian Wool, another comedian. We're going to talk some more pro wrestling, whatever happens on NXT tonight or whatever else happens in the world of pro wrestling in the next 24 hours. And we're going to have my latest interview. It's with Colin Delaney, everybody's favorite WWE ECW enhancement talent, right? I wouldn't even call him that because he had like a real good storyline there. But you probably saw him last week on AEW Dynamite. He was destroyed by Wardlow. He took the Powerbomb Symphony, and he's the first person one of the few people that have had to go through that ordeal. And I don't think anybody who has commented on it yet. So tomorrow, you'll find out what it's like to be absolutely annihilated by Wardlow with a variety of powerbombs.
Oof, man. I would crap my pants if I took all of those.
Spoiler alert, it does not sound fun. So, and I'm not going to tell you if he crapped his pants or not. I'm not going to say he did. I'm not going to say he didn't. Because if I did, maybe you guys wouldn't come back. Maybe that's a hook. I don't know. We're just going to leave it at that. So, Colin Delaney here tomorrow with Brian Wool. If you like the Wrestling Inc. Daily, hit up our iTunes page. Leave us a 5-star rating. Leave us a comment. That stuff shoots us up the charts, helps us find new viewers and listeners, and, make the party better. And, of course, support WrestlingInc.com. We're on all the socials. And go watch the Wrestling Podcast tonight after WWE NXT. It'll be right back here on Wrestling Inc.'s YouTube, Twitch, and all the other social channels. EJ, what do you want to put over here before we wrap up the show today?
Keep taking care of yourself, y'all. It's cold out. People getting sick. Take care of yourself. Stay home if you gotta. Give me a follow at EJ_Cam19 on Twitter. And eat a bagel.
Yeah. Eat a bagel.
Eat a bagel.
They're good for you. They make you feel nice. We made some nice like Mexican chicken last night, like a salsa chicken with like cheddar and some different stuff to it. Do that too, right? Just cook. Fill your life with joy. All right. Yes. I'm at Nick_Hausman over on Twitter. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will talk to you tomorrow. And remember, if you winked, you didn't miss it.